In every sense, the survivors here are utterly shattered. Wounds cover their bodies, the horror still on their minds. This young woman was pierced with flying metal and glass, shredding her flesh, their cruelest cuts slashing her face. Is she going to be okay?
I think that very good prognosis.
Really? She's a young woman.
Yes.
So this is the second operating. Dr. Vyacheslav Afonchikov walks us through intensive care. 18 victims came to this hospital. He tells me so far they haven't lost any, but 2 patients are still quite critical. They have very serious injuries.
Prognosis is not optimistic now. It is, 50-50.
It's delicate.
Yes.
The fact is, teams here have been preparing for this kind of a terrorist incident for years now. And when the victims arrived here, many of them had dozens of wounds, very serious wounds, all over their bodies.
We see them when we look on X-rays.
So you were removing tiny metal pellets from patients' bodies.
Yes.
And you could see them. That must have been loaded in the explosive. It must have been in the bomb.
Yes, of course.
Alexei Chirochkin saw victims pouring out of the train onto the platform and snapped this photo. Then he realized what was happening. He says he'll never forget the look on survivors' faces as everyone pulled together to help victims.
It's possible that the person I dragged out was dead. He had a lot of blood on his jacket. It was soaked in it. I don't know if he's alive.
Just a day later, the same platform was already a shrine to the victims, but also a potent sign of strength. People here in St. Petersburg boarded the same subway line in defiance and got on with their day. Vigilance was high, security tight, and yet all around there were touching scenes of grief. Resilience in this city is rooted in its epic history. It could never be conveyed in a single gesture, let alone a hashtag. But instead, you feel it in solemn prayers, bitter tears, and profound disbelief. Paula Newton, CNN, St. Petersburg.